Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan, and the topic of this 10-minute moan is Anneliese Dodds, who resigned as a cabinet minister today and talks a lot of nonsense, basically. So Anneliese Dodds was, up until this morning, now let me just get the proper title, she was a minister of two things. She was a minister of international development and women inequalities. Now the second one almost made me chortle because Anneliese Dodds doesn't know what a woman is, but she was the Minister for Women and Equalities. And she had a dual role. She was a Minister for International Development as well. And she resigned in the huff. And what she's proved today is she's more concerned about people abroad who have got issues and need money than the people in the United Kingdom. And let me explain why. She was part of a government that pulled the winter fuel payments from our pensioners for that winter there. Thankfully, it wasn't the worst winter on record, or we might have seen some more deaths. But she was part of that government. And when they done that and they removed funding for that, did she walk out? No, she didn't. But she walked out today, and I'll cover her letter, not the whole thing because it's born as sin, but there are some pertinent points in it that I'll cover with you. And she's basically resigned from her role in the government because we're not going to give some people in some foreign countries as much money as normal. So there go, she is more interested about Johnny Foreigner and their benefits getting cut than our pensioners. And that is disgusting. So let me remind you, I've said this before. See this thing here? This is a passport. I'm not going to dox myself by showing you the numbers, so be careful. And it's my passport, right? That means I'm a UK citizen. You don't need to be a UK citizen to get one, but, kind of helps. The vast majority are. And you don't need one of these to be a UK citizen. But the point is, if you've got one of these and you're a UK citizen, that should be our government's ranked number one in the concern list, not Johnny Foreigner. So if our country is running great and we have solved all the problems, we've got internal problems, then fine. We can look after Johnny Foreigner and show a bit of compassion round the world. But when we can't even give our old uns 300 quid to heat their homes in the winter, we have no right to be giving money to other foreigners in their own countries for things like, and I'll quote your letter here, you need to, where is it? For climate change, right? You want us to give more money to foreign businesses, foreign countries to help them with climate change because you say that's the biggest security threat of them all, right? You think that's more important than keeping their oceans warm in the winter. And that's factual, that's not my opinion, because you have resigned today on that basis, and you didn't resign when we took the winter fuel payments off our pensioners. So, where's your priorities? That should be your priority. That should be any... Now, that's not just unique to the UK, by the way. If you're American, the American government should have those people with priorities. If you're Ugandan, your country should have you at the top of the priority list. But you, Anneliese Dodds, have neither. And I just need to look at this letter that you wrote because it saddens me that I write to inform you that I will cease attending your cabinet and tendering my resignation. Oh, dearie me. And it's because you inform me of your decision to cut overseas development assistance to 0.3% of GNI. Isn't that a shame? It should be zero. Think about it. And you feel that we're going to spend more on defence. Instead, the tactical decision was taken for Overseas Development Agency to absorb the entire burden. You have maintained that you want to continue support for Gaza, Sudan and Ukraine, for vaccination, for climate and for rule-based systems. Yet it will be impossible to maintain these priorities given the depth of the cut. The effect will be far greater than presented, even if assumptions made about reducing asylum costs hold true. The cut will likely lead to the UK pull-out from numerous African, Caribbean and Western Balkan nations at a time when Russia has been aggressively increasing its global presence. It's likely to lead to withdrawal from regional banks and a reduced commitment to the World Bank. The UK being shut out of numerous multilateral bodies and a reduced voice for the UK in the G7, G20 and in climate negotiations. All this while China is seeking to rewrite global rules and when the climate crisis is the biggest security threat of them all. Seriously. Ultimately, these cuts will remove food and healthcare from desperate people, deeply harming the UK's reputation. So, back to what I said originally. It's okay for you. Your conscience doesn't bother you when we take heating money, 300 quid, off our old folk in the winter. But what does bother you is it might deprive food and healthcare from desperate people in other countries in the world. I don't know when we became the world's coppers, right? We are not the solely liable for the future of every other country in the world. That's just priority. Number one, that should be your priority. But you, and quite a lot of lefties like you, have this preposition of we've got to look after everybody else in the world. When did we become the United Nations? Because that's kind of their role, not ours. But the reality is that this decision has already been portrayed as following in President Trump's slipstream of cuts to US aid. Good? It isn't, but good if it was. And all this is a realignment of money because of the absolute ridiculous situation in the Chagos Islands. So all he's doing is moving dollars. He's moving it from one pot to the other to pay them the billions of pounds that they'll get. And he's moving it. He could just have left it with you and paid it through international development some way. But no, he wanted to be the hero and say I'm spending more on defence. So he's taken that money and stuck it into the defence kitty. That budget will not see more soldiers or better equipment because that budget that's getting added onto is going straight away to Mauritius to pay for the Chagos Islands. It's just one wooden dollar scam. That's all it is. But you're in the wee huff because you think, no, because less we folk, and it's not even factual what you're saying, it's just an opinion that this will lead to less food and medical stuff going to countries in the Caribbean, Africa, and the Balkan nations. And what? Right? If it is, that's just hard luck, right? Because too many people with these are homeless, getting terrible care in their NHS, and not getting heating bills paid in the winter. That is my priority, and that should be your priority as a government in the United Kingdom. It's folk at the UN, we give them loads of money, right? People all around the world give the UN loads of money for stuff to feed the world, right? We've done all right out of us in the last, my lifetime anyway, right? So, we've got other things we need to spend money on now. But you and your wee lefty red temper are going, well, I can't be having that. I mean, that's terrible. We might, there's no guarantees here because of your words. Ultimately, these cuts will remove food and healthcare from desperate people. Says who? You don't even know if your money's getting to desperate people. This USAID money as well. Am I meant to believe there's $10 million worth of condoms in South Africa for USAID? No, there's no. It's a scam. And if you can't see that, it's because you don't want to see that. So good riddance, Anneliese Dodds. You're obviously not the person for the job because you want to put foreigners first and you don't know what a woman is. And you were, up until today, the Minister for International Development and for Women and Equalities. You should never have had the role in the first place because your priorities are a bit skew. Okay? If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. That also helps the algorithms. That's great. Hit thumbs up. Smash the thumbs up my videos, all of them, please. If you've not already done so, please hit the subscribe and the notification bell. Comments below, they're great. They're wonderful for that algorithm as well. But most important of all, unless you're a person that's in our government and doesn't put these people first, then not you. But
everyone else, have a great day. Cheerio, bye now.